Venus. So hot right now.
So hot right now.
Did you know that the hottest planet in the solar system, Venus, is actually closer to Earth than Mars is? In fact, it probably makes more sense to send the first human mission beyond the Earth-Moon system to Venus instead of Mars. Going to Venus with humans before we send humans to Mars is sort of like running a half marathon before you run a full marathon. With Venus being so hot, though,
So hot right now.
we wouldn't want astronauts to land on the surface. No, they would be crushed, dissolved in acid, and burned all at the same time. Instead, when they flew by Venus, they would literally remote control rovers and airplanes on and over Venus that are robotic. But here's the thing. The astronauts can actually spend about 90 days in the vicinity of Venus without actually having to go into orbit. You see, a JPL orbital dynamicist came up with this thing called the Venus Backflip maneuver. If you're really nerdy, they're called pi transfer orbits. And this basically allows the spacecraft to go over, say, the south pole of Venus, then go way up above the north pole of Venus, and then come back down about 90 or 100 days later. Now, while they're on that 90 days to and from, the astronauts are within 1 light minute of Venus, and they can control robots. The surface temperature of Venus is like your oven on cleaning cycle. 460 Celsius, it's like over 800 Fahrenheit. And the atmospheric pressure is 90 times that of Earth. But there's one spot on Venus that's cooler and at lower pressure than anywhere else on Venus. And that's the summit of the Maxwell Montes volcano. The summit of Maxwell Montes is 11 kilometers above the sea level of Venus. It's 100 degrees cooler. It's about 370 some degrees Celsius at the summit of Maxwell Montes. And the pressure is about half of that elsewhere on Venus. It's only about 45 times normal atmospheric pressure. And it's really interesting geologically. There's this weird type of terrain called tessera terrain that's also right next to smooth volcanic plains, but at the elevation of the top of Maxwell Montes. So imagine this. Before astronauts go to Mars, but after they land on the moon, you can imagine them doing a Venus backflip maneuver, robotically controlling rovers and airplanes around Maxwell Montes on Venus to do some really cool surface exploration of this very strange sister planet to Earth. What can I say? Venus. So hot right now.
So hot right now.
If you'd like to learn more about the science enabled by humans at Venus, you can read our team's report, Meeting with the Goddess, Notes from the First Symposium on Venus Science Enabled by Human Proximity, conducted in July of 2022 at the Keck Institute for Space Studies on the campus of the California Institute of Technology.